Hello, this is Eric of Not Bio Studio, and today I'm reviewing the Fulaim X5. Never even heard of this product before, but a commenter mentioned this device that has internal recording and is super affordable. In fact, it's so affordable, it costs less than the Rode Wireless Me. And it has two mics and a receiver and internal recording. Kind of nice presentation, magnetic flip top. Here is the user manual. And that is English, Italian, French, Spanish, and Dutch. And there are instructions, and the writing is excessively small. You may want to get yourself a nice magnifying glass because I can barely read it. In the package, we have our device right here. And we can see our microphones. On the back side, we have our charging port right here. And of course, our charge level would be right here, these little squares, up to 4 of them. Firm off times 2, because we have 2 microphones. We also have, looks to be a charging cable to USB type A to USB type C. Data cable, camera cable, let's separate these. Right here, we can see it's 2 lines, 2 tip sleeves. This is called a TRS or aux stereo cable. USB type A to an angled type C. And this one has no label on it. Probably just an angled option or multiple charging cables. Don't know yet, but we'll find out soon enough. Now let's go through our devices. Here we have the receiver, a USB charging port, camera out that says out, and this one is for headphone monitoring, and we also have a power button, that's the yellow one on top, and then on the bottom we have our volume dB level. As I take these out, by the way, they are automatically powering on. Both a microphone and a lavalier port. Pretty sweet for such an affordable device to even have that option. On this one side, it looks like we have a power button. We have a USB for charging, and we have, it says set. Maybe that's our noise reduction button or something, but we'll find out more later on. Both of these microphones include a small little magnet, so it makes it almost like the TGI mic. Interesting. Not nearly as fancy as the Ceramic Blink Me and its fancy display, but I see where they're going here. Now, on the case itself, we are left with a couple of adapters. This one looks to be type C to type C for whatever reason. We'll have to find that out after. A type C on the back end, but with Apple Lightning and type C on this side. Okay, let's finally get this connected up. We are now listening to this microphone connected to the Fujifilm X-S20. How am I coming through? I have the volume set on the microphone at 4 out of 5 volume. This is a first time test. Have not even heard how this sounds. This has super loud volume, like here I am in max. And this volume is actually loud as probably the DJI mic can go at maximum. It's insane, like I can't believe this. This right now is the quietest volume. We're now second volume, third volume, and we're now back to level 4 volume. And that's where I like to be personally. So the idea is this has a light to cleanse the microphones, a UV type light. Doesn't look UV on my camera screen, which I see right now. But it's supposed to actually cleanse, sanitize the microphones while they're sitting in here. Now let's try holding a long press. Maybe this could be internal recording. I haven't read the instructions yet. They're too small. I just don't want to read the instructions when they're small like that. Oh, I think I see something. Now I'll put a note above if this is internal recording, and I'll use the internal recording to the camera. That is pretty cool. That's proper. So that was an experiment. What I did is I held down the yellow button, which normally turns on noise cancellation for a period of time. I believe it was like 3 seconds. Now to find out if the receiver volume level affects the volume of the internal recording. So now I am at max volume, minimum volume, and I am turning it back up again. If there's no change in volume, that means the internal recording was not affected by the receiver volume. And now to try the noise cancellation or noise reduction button. and see if there's any difference when I do this in terms of tone or sound through the microphone, and now to turn that off. And this is all completely the internal recording. Now let's get to the PC and to mobile phone for testing. Right now we are online at fulaimaudio.com, and here is their website. And we can see many different things. I never even heard of Fulaim until someone commented. Oh, this is interesting. And by the way, we are listening to this connected to PC via USB cable included with this device. So we have the microphone right here. We have the adapter Type-C to Type-C on the top. And we also can notice that both, of course, the Apple adapter as well as this one has a connection on the back end. And this is Type-C. That means whatever this does will do the same to an Apple phone. What does that do? I wonder. Well, first of all, let's connect to our mobile phone. Slide it in. Now it's in place. And now let's connect this data cable, which I could use a different one if I want to. And do we see what's going on here? Fast charging. Sweet. We are now hearing the audio from the Fulaim X5. And we're going to test this on the iPhone shortly. And right now I'm using the Android Xiaomi 12X mobile phone. How am I coming through using this phone? I'm using the Open Camera app because this particular phone is horrible for recording all audio devices and tends to be very hissy. Using the Shure Motive video app is an alternative to this Open Camera app as well. Either way, this is a test, and how I'm coming through, well, let me know what your thoughts are connected to Android mobile phone. Right now I am testing the iPhone. Not sure which one this is, 12, 13 or something Pro Max, I guess.
12, I think.
12 Pro Max, okay. And my friend here, he has the other microphone with him, which he's holding his hand.
I sure am.
So I don't know how I'm coming through on this iPhone with this mic system, but I guess you can find out and play back just like me, because I have no clue. And just to verify, and this is with the iPhone connection that's actually with this phone, no sound card adapter. What do you think of that anyways?
It looks all right, I guess. Small, compact,
and
stylish black and silver highlights.
There's actually noise canceling on there too. Like that's the yellow button on the bottom. And if I press it, because right now we probably were hearing the sound of a fridge humming in the background, but now we wouldn't be. However, there's some distortion in the sounds, I find, with the noise canceling on. Right now we have both mics on noise canceling. I guess you can't tell right now. Because
yeah, I can't really tell until I hear the playback.
There you go. Anyways, this is a test of the iPhone, and I'm going to turn off that noise canceling, and hopefully this turned out well. Have no clue. Have never tried it. Right now we can see our receiver, and watch what happens when I start recording. And we should be able to see this on right here somewhere. Not sure if it's showing. I can't tell on my small little screen here of my camera. And then watch what happens when I click this button right down here, which this will switch my audio to safety channel or mono. Right now I can see I'm just going through one speaker. And if I press it again, and I'll hold it for like 5 seconds, we change to safety channel. I didn't actually notice this had that option till after recorded, both me and someone else. So that is pretty cool. For such an affordable thing, that is nuts. And you might be thinking, Eric, what about wired lavaliers? Well, here I have the LV2. Here I have the LV1. Here I have the Deity WLav with micro dot. Here I have the Sennheiser MKE Essential. Here I have the Rode Lavalier 2. And of course, we're going to make the Rode NTG to see if it's wireless and if it turns the power on or not. And of course, one more mic. We'll find out when we get there. Now let's get testing. We're now listening to the Rode Lavalier 2. How am I coming through using this particular device? Is it clear or not? I have no clue. Have never pre-tested this, but that's the whole experience of not knowing. Right now you are hearing the sound from the X5 LV1. How am I coming through with this particular lavalier? I have no clue, but we'll both find out on playback. We're now listening to the ultra quiet LV2. And the LV2 is a super small wire lavalier. We are now listening to the Sennheiser MKE Essential wired lavalier. How am I coming through with this device? This requires a lot of gain, which means you're more likely to get buzz and distortions just like on the LV2. However, this could be coming through clear, but I have no clue. We're now listening to the Deity WLav with microdot. This is with the DA35, and of course I have my focus set too slow, but this is just a test to see how this sounds. I'll be a monkey. It's actually working. So right now we are using the Rode NTG. It's coming through very loud, so let's be careful. Right now we are listening to the Deity V-Mic D4. How am I coming through? Just making this wireless. And let's see if I can connect this underneath once I remove this silly magnet. And putting underneath. Too tight to go underneath. The receiver end can connect to a camera hot shoe on the top, no problem at all. It's actually weird that the microphone is more thick for the belt clip than the receiver end. So if I actually used the other end that normally connects to the camera, sure, can connect to the Rode NTG, slide it in the bottom, but this one can't do it. Very odd choice. It is now time to get outside and do some testing. And in terms of echoey, untreated rooms, your noise reduction button will help fix that one. So that question is answered with that. Or if I go around the building, if it blocks the reception. Right now I'm wearing my fur muff, but let's take it off for a sec. And this is the wind. With the dogs barking, it's a good time to test the noise reduction. And now turning it on again. Don't know how I am with the noise reduction on, but we'll find out in the end. I'm going to keep it off because I sound better with it off. Okay, now I'm going to walk around this building, the apartment here, as I tested a lot of recent microphones, and a lot of them cut out somewhere around, down around here somewhere, just a bit. And when I go around the building, it's pretty much nothing else. And of course I have all these signs measured out. I'm going to zoom in so I can get some better image quality because I have, well, I want to get it so I can punch in without losing reception. I'll do turnarounds here to see if you face away from the camera, if you're going to cut out. And right now I'm at 15 feet, 4.5 meters away, testing the microphone. Let's keep going. And we're going to go to the 25-foot point, 7.5 meters. If you can pass this, for most situations, we should be okay, unless you plan to go far away from the microphone. Now let's keep going. My next sign is a bit further down, as we can see down here. And this is 50 feet away, 15 meters. And a lot of the microphones recently have been cutting out at this point far away here. So 50 feet is basically the max that most of these have been going. Pretty much every other microphone with internal recording other than the DJI mic. So it kind of wins in that scenario for that case. Now let's see how this one fares. We're at 75 feet, 25 meters away. 75 feet, 25 meters away. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? And if we make it over 50 feet, that's going to be quite impressive. 75 feet, that'd be really impressive up there with the pocket wireless. And now we're at 100 feet, 30 meters away. Let's do a turnaround. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Don't know if you could, but let's go to the next one. And we're going to keep on going here. And now we are at 125 feet, 37.5 meters away. Let's do a turnaround. Can you hear me? 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 And let's keep going. We are still going. And in terms of distance, we'll see where we get. We are now at 150 feet away, 45 meters away. And let's do a turnaround. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? And around this point is about the furthest the DJI mic can make it. The DD Pocket Wireless was about 125 feet. If you look at my review, you'll find out. We're now at 175 feet, 52.5 meters away. Let's do it around. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Mic test. And now, if you heard me at this point, this would be a new record. I highly doubt it would be, but yeah, this is a test anyways to see what we can get. Line of sight is the most important line of sight to the camera. Now, 200 feet, 60 meters away. I'll make this one the last one. Listen to how this. No, I don't know at least. And let's keep going back. We are approaching our next distance, and we are now at 225 feet, 67.5 meters away. Can you hear me? Oh, let's go straight still. I don't want to keep on turning around. I'm too far away. We're now at 250 feet, 75 meters away. Can you still hear me? I have no clue. And let's keep going back. We are approaching our next sign, and this is 275 feet, 82.5 meters away. And let's keep going yet. And right now, I'd be shocked if we have reception with something so affordable. 300 feet, 90 meters away. Can you still hear me at this distance away? I have not a clue, but we'll find out on playback. And I'm still going. I'm now at 325 feet, 97.5 meters away. And just for a good measure, I'm at 333.3 feet, which is 100 meters away. And I'll just keep on walking back now without measurements, because at this point, for such an affordable system, I'd be absolutely shocked if we'd still be getting reception. We are now probably around, let's see, 110-ish meters, and this would be approaching 400 feet, somewhere around here-ish. 400 feet, every 100 feet is 30 meters. So this would be 30, 60, 120, 150 meters. And let's keep on walking till I just get out of view of the camera. And if this is still going, this would be a competitor with the DJI mic if it's going. When it comes to this screen in the bright light, good luck seeing it, because I can't see it at all. At least, well, I can see it very slightly. Now, if this was the blink me, I'd be able to see this because there's not really direct sunlight. So this one, compared to most of the microphones, is kind of a fail in terms of brightness. So the question is, what are my thoughts on the Fulaim X5? Well, first of all, don't forget to subscribe to Not Bio Studio and help this channel grow. And if you are subscribed already or subscribing right now, you are awesome. When it comes to the Fulaim X5, one thing we do have is extremely good value. One question might be is, how does the audio from this microphone compares to, say, the Deity Pocket Wireless, the Rode Wireless Me, the DJI mic, the Hollyland Lark Max? Well, for self-noise, this is quieter than the Hollyland Lark Max, signal-to-noise ratio of only 70. Pathetic. The DJI mic is also not that good either for self-noise. Now, when it comes to other ones for self-noise, these are more in line. We are now listening to the audio from the Rode Wireless Me. How am I coming through? In terms of sizing, this microphone is quite a bit larger and doesn't have a magnet to stick. It's basically, you're going to stick it to your sleeve, your pocket, your belt clip, unlike this one that has the belt clip as well as a magnet. In terms of size comparison, this is pretty close to the DJI mic. This is quite a bit bigger. The Deity Pocket Wireless, it doesn't have great sound quality, definitely not so much for its price. Its reception distance and line of sight is some of the best up there. Going together with the DJI mic, which the DJI mic has the best reception for line of sight distance I've ever tested. And another problem with the DJI mic is the fact it's very not compatible with lavaliers in comparison to the Fulaim. A lot of different lavaliers with the DJI mic gets bad hiss. The Deity Pocket Wireless does work well with almost all wired lavaliers. When recording internally, your battery life will be about 6 hours. And when not doing so and just simply use the microphone, you can get about 9 hours of battery life. The receiver and itself is about 6.5 hours of battery life when recording with both devices. And in terms of recording internally, it is 48 kilohertz, the same as the digital camera. At 16-bit, the same as most digital cameras. Now, the difference between 24-bit, like the higher end units, and 16-bit is mostly when the internal recording is quiet. You're going to introduce hiss. And you should always have your volume like 4 out of 5, like I do now, because your internal recording is actually louder. If I had this 5 out of 5, I'd have to lower the volume. So, get that. This is direct to camera. And this is not noise removal. Impressive. This is Eric of Napaus Studio. Thanks for watching and have yourselves a most wonderful day. I want you down with me. Testing 1, 2, 3. Do. Testing 1, 2, 3. I want you to be with me.